I love you.
I love you.
Hello.
你好。
你好。
So I am on my way down to the visa office to get my final 30-day visa, which is called a humanitarian visa. And once I get that, it's pretty much a guarantee that I'm gonna have to leave within those 30 days, which is fine. I've got my flight. I wanted to say one thing about this mask you see me wearing. You might be wondering why I'm wearing a surgical mask when I've been such a strong advocate for having good quality masks like N95s or something with a tighter seal. And the simple fact is that I'm trying to ration them because I'm about to go from one of the countries with the lowest reported cases, although these numbers, of course, are subject to debate, and I'm going to one of the areas, or the area really, with the highest number of cases. And in fact, in the state I'm going to in California, the numbers have been increasing by the thousands every day. So I want to make sure that I have enough of those good masks to protect me and family when I get there. Although after getting to California, I won't be going out very much because we're going to be staying with older relatives, and we just don't want to put them at risk. So we're not going to be going to grocery stores or shopping malls or anything like that. We'll be pretty much in a complete lockdown once we get there, which is fine. We're kind of used to it. So anyway, yeah, that's why I'm wearing this. And the fact is that here I probably could get away without wearing a mask. Not everyone is wearing one, but out of respect for others and to not touch my face, I want to have this mask on. The other thing is, even if I get a regular cold, if it wasn't the virus but some other little cold and I had a runny nose or a fever, it's likely they wouldn't let me on that plane. So I want to make sure that I don't come into contact with any kind of germs or any kind of bugs that would give me a fever or any symptoms, because that at this point would be really, really dangerous. So I'm here at the bus stop, and I don't know if you can see behind me, but the people here in the background, most of them all have these masks on. This is something that's pretty amazing here, is that people have really worn the masks for a while. And there was a short period of time where they stopped wearing masks, and then there was that breakout in Beijing, and now in like Hubei, I believe, there are some more cases, so people are now vigilant again about wearing masks. But it's just amazing to me. One of the things I think that is a huge difference between China and Western countries is that people really are obedient. So when the authorities say wear a mask, everyone just puts on a mask. It's just kind of the culture here. But I can appreciate that in this instance, because I just feel a lot better when everyone around me is wearing a mask, especially when someone coughs or sneezes on you, but they've got a mask on. Not that it's 100% protection, but it's certainly better than nothing. One thing I've neglected to mention in previous videos is that when you use any kind of public transportation now, you have to scan this QR code in order to get on. And this is how they contact trace people. So if anyone gets sick and you were on the same bus as them within a period of days, then you would be marked and you would not be able to get into certain areas. Of course, there's a lot of concerns with something like this as far as privacy and whatnot, but it is definitely nice to know if you need to go get a checkup, even if you're not showing symptoms. Alright, so I just came from the visa place. I got my passport, got my 1 month visa. I gotta leave on the 19th, so I guess it's not really 1 month, more of a 20-day. But that's that. Ready to get on that plane. Now, speaking of the plane, there have been some crazy, crazy stories. But I'll get to it when I can sit down and catch my breath. Pretty exhausted right now. Alright, so I'm back. I got the visa, got my passport back. So, airplane stories. Okay, so this has been super stressful, an emotional roller coaster. But basically, we had booked one of the few flights that allowed us to take cats out of the country on a plane. This is a big thing now because a lot of Asian airlines, in fact, most Asian airlines will not allow pets on board because they're afraid the pets will be spreading the virus. But we found an airline that did not have that policy, and that was United Airlines. So we were able to book a flight only to find out later that, as with many other airlines now, they were selling flights that didn't really exist, fake flights, routes that would never fly. And so that was a problem. A few days ago, we found out that that flight not only doesn't exist, but probably will never exist. There was no direct flight from Shanghai, which is where we're going to be leaving, to San Francisco, which is where we're going to be landing. So we were able to find other flights that will take us on that same sort of route, but with a strange sort of stop in Korea. And what we believe, looking at the flight times and the make of the plane and the flight number, is that it's actually a plane that will land in Korea, but we won't get off. Some more passengers will get on in Korea, and then we'll fly on to our final destination. So that apparently is the situation, hopefully, because if we have to get off the plane, then there's all these other things involved with taking animals off the plane in Korea. So it's been a very, very stressful thing, a lot of late nights trying to figure out policies, since they're changing constantly, trying to talk to representatives of these airline companies, which are telling us different things. Different representatives are telling us different things. Some are saying we need to pay extra money, up to $1,500 per person to change the tickets, and other ones telling us we don't need to pay any money. So it's just been this completely nightmarish scenario. But in fact, there are a lot of other passengers that are in similar situations, some that have been stranded at airports for days, even weeks or months, some that are living in airports, sort of like The Terminal, if you ever saw that movie with Tom Hanks. Other people that are being charged exorbitant fees, and airlines giving them the runaround and not wanting to refund money. So there's all sorts of horror stories going on with travel, especially international travel right now. So we feel fortunate because we were able to catch the cancellation early and book another flight. And we have a home. We're not living in a terminal somewhere. We have food, we have work, we have income. So we count ourselves very fortunate in that regard. But anyway, that was the situation with the airlines. Very, very stressful, but fortunately we are on a flight tentatively. Hopefully, if it doesn't get canceled or moved, we are on a flight on July 19th instead of the 17th, which was the original date. So hopefully we'll be on that plane. We're going to be on that plane actually with other friends of ours that are also leaving China at the same time, and they also have an animal. They have a pet dog. So it's going to be all of us driving down to Shanghai, which is like a 9-hour drive from here, and then getting onto that plane with all of our animals. It's going to be quite an experience. So look forward to that video. But actually, in the meantime, there's a video actually Mo and I have been wanting to do. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. But we wanted to talk about some of the things that we're specifically going to be looking forward to about California, which is where we're going to be going, the Bay Area. Some things that we're excited for about life there, and then some things that we're going to be missing about life here in China. And Moa hasn't been in videos for a really long time. She's a little shy. She's a little insecure about her English level, and she doesn't like being in front of the camera. So, but she did think that was kind of an interesting idea to talk about. So if you think that's a good idea, if you'd like to hear her thoughts and my thoughts about things we're looking forward to and things we're going to miss about living here, leave it in the comments below. And if this gets enough love, then maybe we'll go ahead and do a video like that before we leave in the 2 or so weeks we have before we get on that plane. If we get on that plane, hopefully there'll be no problems. But that's the latest. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Coco, do you know we're going to California? Coco? Yes? Are you excited about going to California? Coco? Yeah. Okay. All right.